My dear friend, if you are listening to this message right now, perhaps you are going through a time of pain, loss, or deep suffering. Maybe your heart feels heavy. Maybe you are carrying a burden that no one else can see. And perhaps you have even asked yourself the question, why me? Why am I the one who has to go through this suffering? In those moments of despair, when the world feels dark and the soul longs for a little light, Paramahansa Yogananda's timeless wisdom comes to guide us. He reminds us that suffering is not a punishment, but a passage. It is not meant to destroy us, but to awaken us to something greater that lies hidden within our own soul. Suffering has always been a mystery to mankind. Across centuries, people have looked to the heavens and asked God why pain exists in this world. Why do good people sometimes suffer, while those who seem unjust or cruel appear to live with ease? Why does life seem unfair? Yogananda, with his gentle yet powerful insight, taught that suffering is not random, nor is it meaningless. Every drop of pain carries within it a seed of transformation. Just as the seed must break in the soil to allow the flower to bloom, so too must the soul pass through trials in order to discover its true divine nature. When Yogananda looked at the human condition, he saw that most suffering arises not from life itself, but from the way we resist life. We want everything to go according to our plans. We want comfort, security, and happiness without interruption. But the universe, like a wise teacher, gives us lessons that often come wrapped in challenges. And just like a student who does not understand the exam at first, we feel frustration, fear, and sadness. Yet Yogananda said, "Remember, trials are blessings in disguise. They are God's way of strengthening your soul." Think of it this way. When you go to the gym, you lift weights, and your muscles ache. But that very pain is a sign of growth. Similarly, the trials of life are spiritual weights. They stretch the soul, they expand our awareness, and they prepare us for higher realizations. If there were no challenges, no sorrow, no disappointment, most of us would remain asleep, comfortable in our little worlds. But suffering shakes us awake. It pushes us to ask deeper questions. Who am I? What is the purpose of my life? Is there something beyond this world of constant change and loss? Yogananda often told his students that pain is the prod of God, driving us back to Him. When everything goes smoothly, we rarely think of God. But when the ground beneath our feet is shaken, when health, wealth, or relationships fail us, we suddenly realize that nothing here is permanent. And in that realization, we turn inward, seeking something that does not fade, something eternal. That eternal source is God, the divine presence, hidden within our very being. If you are suffering right now, Yogananda would tell you, do not think of your pain as meaningless. Do not curse yourself or your destiny. Instead, see this as God's secret invitation. You are being called to grow, to awaken, to discover a strength within you that you never knew existed. The soul is like a diamond, but it becomes brilliant only when it is cut and polished. Life's difficulties are those cuts and polishes. They may hurt, but they bring out the hidden brilliance of the soul. Sometimes suffering comes in the form of loss, the loss of a loved one, the end of a relationship, or the death of a dream. At such times, grief can feel unbearable, and the heart may cry endlessly. Yogananda acknowledged that grief is real, but he reminded us that behind every loss lies a spiritual lesson. Those we love are never truly gone. Their souls are eternal, just as ours are. They are simply traveling on their own journey, just as we are. Instead of clinging to what has been taken, we are asked to expand our love and realize that nothing in spirit is ever lost. At other times, suffering comes as failure. When our efforts collapse, when doors close, when nothing seems to work despite our best intentions. Yogananda would say, failure is not the end, but a redirection. God sometimes withholds what we want because He wishes to give us something far greater. The seed of success is often planted in the soil of failure. Every disappointment is a hidden doorway to a better plan, if only we learn to trust. And then there is the suffering of the mind, the constant worry, anxiety, and negative thoughts that torment us day and night. For this, Yogananda gave a clear solution: meditation. He taught that the mind is like a restless lake, and when the waters are turbulent, we cannot see the reflection of truth. But when through meditation and prayer we calm the waters, suddenly the divine light within us is revealed. Meditation is not an escape from suffering. It is the path through which suffering is dissolved in the presence of God's peace. Imagine you are holding a burning coal. The more tightly you grip it, the more it burns you. That coal is your attachment to pain, your habit of holding on to negative thoughts and memories. Yogananda said, "Release the coal. Let go. Do not hold on to suffering. Replace every negative thought with a positive affirmation, and you will feel God's joy rising within you." But Yogananda also taught compassion. He did not say suffering is easy, or that we should simply pretend it does not hurt. He acknowledged the reality of human pain, but he encouraged us not to remain trapped in it. Instead, he guided us to transform it. By offering our pain to God, by serving others even while we ourselves are wounded, we discover that suffering can become a source of strength, love, and wisdom. Think of the lotus flower. It grows in the mud, yet rises above the water in pure beauty. Similarly, our soul, through the mud of suffering, rises in purity and light. Every wound can become a window to God's presence. Every tear can water the garden of compassion. Every scar can remind us of the battle we fought and the strength we found within. If you are suffering right now, Yogananda would whisper to you, do not give up. Behind the darkness is light. Behind the pain is joy. Behind every ending is a beginning. Remember that the night is darkest just before dawn, but dawn always comes. No matter how heavy your burden feels, know that you are not alone. The Infinite Spirit walks beside you. Your soul has the power to overcome, to rise, to shine. In your moments of despair, sit in silence. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Whisper within, Lord, I give you my pain. I give you my sorrow. Guide me, strengthen me, uplift me. Then listen in the stillness for the answer that will surely come, not always in words, but in a quiet sense of peace, in a sudden hope, in an unexpected strength. That is God's response, reminding you that you are His child, and no suffering can ever separate you from His love. Suffering, when understood, becomes the very tool of liberation. It shows us that this world, with all its beauty and sorrow, is not our final home. We are destined for something higher, something eternal. And every challenge is a step, every loss a lesson, every pain a push toward the realization of who we truly are. Divine souls, ever free, ever joyful, ever united with God. So, if you are suffering right now, remember Yogananda's message. Do not see your pain as your enemy. See it as your teacher. Do not collapse under its weight. Rise with its strength. Do not curse your trials. Thank them, for they are shaping you into the person God knows you can be. This moment of suffering is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a deeper awakening. And one day, when you look back, you will see that what felt like breaking was actually your becoming. Your pain was the passage to your purpose. Your suffering was the doorway to your soul's freedom. And in that realization, you will smile with gratitude, knowing that God was with you all along,